What is going on, guys? It is your boy Meaning Z here, and we are back with another video. Now today we are going to be hopping on some Demonfall, but we're not necessarily going to be more or less playing the game. I mean, I am, as you can see, I'm obviously in game, but we're more so going to be talking about the current state of Demonfall, because as you know, I haven't really been uploading too many Demonfall videos, and that is because there isn't really much for me to do else in the game. I'm pretty sure I've done like many ranked videos already. I've done some videos on the current content in the game and whatnot, so there's not much else for me to do on this game. Plus, there's been a whole thing going on with the community, which is what this video is going to be about. You know what I'm saying? Just giving my current and my own thoughts on the whole situation going on with the Demon Slayer, well, not Demon Slayer, but Demonfall community and whatnot, because a lot has happened and a lot has gone down between the head dev Aarox and some of his community members and like the devs that he works with and whatnot. And all in all, I'm just gonna talk about the current state of the game and the future of the game and what I think might happen or what I would like to see happen, or the sad truth of the things that could happen with this game due to the current decrease in community members and devs and whatnot. So I'm gonna try and not ramble on too much about side things and not get sidetracked because I don't want this video to be super duper long with it just me talking. I'm going to just do some random stuff in the background, maybe do some crow missions while I talk and whatnot. So first things I want to talk about is I in any way, shape, or form do not tolerate disrespect. Like, obviously, you know what I'm saying, if you're just with the homies and you're just trolling around, you'll be like, haha, you trashed the game, bro. Like, obviously that's just trolling and whatnot, but I'm talking about genuine disrespect and genuinely just being just a terrible person and whatnot. And especially to the people who have helped you succeed, helped you out and whatnot, and you're just over here being just a jerk basically to the people who have helped you succeed. Yeah, I just can't tolerate that at all. Now, for the most part, the first thing that I saw about this was that the head developer Aarox was basically down talking the people who were basically running his community, like the people who ran the Demon Slayer Corps and whatnot, and we're trying to help and keep in contact and keep the community up and whatnot, because obviously we know the head dev Aarox isn't gonna do it, so obviously there's people in the servers and whatnot who are going to do it for him. He basically was just being a disrespectful person to them. Now, the person who it was mainly getting done to, I managed to get in contact with because all the information was in the Demon Slayer Corp server at the time, but it got removed by one of the staff, and so I managed to get in contact with the person, and I asked him for the information, and he managed to give it to me. So if I go over here, all right, here we go. So shout out to this guy. I don't know how to say her name, and I'm not even gonna attempt to because I don't want to butcher it too hard. But shout out to this guy who sent me all the information and whatnot of everything that was going on. So we're gonna go ahead and if we click on this video, right, and it's basically just, I guess this is a group DM. So we see here is imagine paying 15k to not be invited in faction HR, easy. So I guess he paid a certain amount of money, but then or somebody paid a certain amount of money and they weren't let into something that they should have been in. And Aarox was basically just said, yeah, if you have a problem with them, just leave. Obviously, I guess he's not gonna assist them in any way, shape, or form, so he just told him to leave. I guess it was this guy, because I guess he was the one who left, and he was just okay, bye. So we just up and left. And we have Aarox here, who just who was he anyway? And then this guy just gets mad because he's the facts you don't know. Aarox is just amazing, dumbfounding at the fact that he doesn't know who he is. And Aarox is oh, is he a mod or something? And he was no, he's the co-leader of the Slayer faction, basically. Like I said before, person who was basically running the community and helping carry the community and whatnot of all the people who play Demonfall or Demon Slayers, because they did have a lot of good ideas on what they wanted to do with the Slayer faction and whatnot, and make a legitimate way to rank up from Mizunoto to Mizunoe and so on and so forth, but they needed private servers to do so, and they had been asking Aarox for private servers for months And even if they were like, even if stuff just doesn't spawn, but like please just like get it so like we can at least like, you know, do like tournaments and like PvP and whatnot so that people can like, you know, rank up. And Aerox just wasn't helping them. I mean, and obviously we have people saying the game is dying and whatnot for a reason. And it was like, he literally made the entirety of the Slayer's Discord. He wasn't just some random person or random mod. He was an important person. And then he was like, well then bye to him. And he was like, he responded to this message if he was someone important. Aerox was just like, no he wasn't. And he was like, what makes you say that? The only people that are important to him are people who like helped him dev the game. Not the people who were helping him, you know, carry and run his community, but the people who, you know, were just people who helped him make the game, like the devs and whatnot. And so the fact that he wasn't a dev means he wasn't a person of importance and whatnot. And so we have another person who's just like, all right, well then, so you want to disrespect everybody, good luck keeping the game alive. And, you know, Aerox is like, I don't need to keep the game alive, which is something a dev should not be saying about his game. I mean, obviously, as a person, you'd want your game to be alive, you'd want someone to play your game. But this man saying this is basically saying like he just doesn't care. He doesn't need to or want to keep his game. Well, not necessarily want, but he doesn't need to keep his game alive, which I feel like pretty messed up. I'm not gonna lie. And he's just saying like he just does his game for fun and whatnot. Like he doesn't want like he doesn't need or want any monetary value out of making games. He just makes them to make them. He doesn't care if the community enjoys them or not. He just makes it just to make it. Right here he says, you earn your money this way, and he's like, doesn't matter if I get any money or not. And this guy's just trying to stop the argument, but as you see the argument keeps going, and he's like, he does this game for fun even if it dies. And he was like, so you basically don't care if it dies. And he's like, I had my fun with my buddy Marone develop our game. So basically it's some dumbing down on the fact that even if Demonfall dies, he doesn't care. So if the game basically, he confirmed that the game has a chance of just not getting updated, which the game did get not necessarily updated recently. It's gotten an update announced, and obviously like as of today it got some like patch notes done, which I'll like, you know, showing a little bit. He's like, not like you guys will understand, because just because they're not devs, which means they're not important people. He's like, why would you have fun on the game and then let it die? And then here's where it got me, because he called obviously the people in this group DM have to be somebody of importance or in some type of way for them all to be in this group DM and Aerox to be talking to them. And here's what got me, because he just says, you guys are randoms that will never understand. And I'm just like, no, whoa there. You got people who are worrying about and caring about this game, and yet you're saying that, you're basically saying that all the people who care about your game and want your game to succeed, just because they're not a dev that wants your game to succeed, they are random now? Like, I just can't fly with that. That's just wrong in all entirety. Like, you called all the people who cares about his game randoms and whatnot. And he's like, I don't care if you think the game is gonna die or not, or if it's bad or not. You guys are all random, so why should I care if you guys are random? And basically, he's just like, if you guys don't care about the game, or if you guys don't want to be a part of the game anymore, they go back to Demonfall RPG 2 then, randoms, and talk to Higoshi about being a part of his community instead. And everybody's like, well, I mean, there's nothing to do here anyway. The game is dying. There's nothing to do here and whatnot, which obviously is just pretty bad. And then he was basically saying, you guys won't understand what it's like to make a game and work on a game and have fun with making a game and just posting it for fun. Like, he's doing all this for fun, so he could care less if the game dies or not. And then after that, he just left, and basically that was just the end of it. So yeah, like I said, I couldn't fly with that. Like, don't get me wrong, Demonfall, for what it was and what it could be, it's a very good game. Like, it had a lot going for it. It had a lot of hype behind it. It had a lot of, you know, the graphics were good, the combat was pretty good. Obviously, some people were annoyed about, like, you know, the like infinite combos or the long combos you can make with certain breathing styles and whatnot. But for the most part, it was a good game. I cannot lie, it was a good game. And I guess, like, obviously he didn't care about it as much as he should have, due to the fact that he literally just said that I only make games for fun, so if it dies, it just dies. which obviously, as a Demon Slayer fan and, you know, a Roblox game enjoyer, I wouldn't want the game to die. I'm pretty sure nobody wants the game to die. I'm pretty sure there's still a lot of people who enjoy this game. It's just that the dev himself just obviously doesn't have too much care for it. And like I said, the fact that he called all the people who are running his community and like helping him out like on the sidelines of randoms, and like basically there's just like non-people of importance, I just can't stick with that. He also had beef with his modeler. Now I couldn't get in touch with the modeler, Haploid. I couldn't really, I tried to like figure out like what deeper what happened, but I couldn't really get in touch with him. So but from what the gist of what I saw, what Arox posted in his announcements and whatnot, is that Haploid originally said that he was going to work for free, but then after the game started popping off, then Haploid had asked for money, which isn't too bad, seeing as the fact that he did help the game, you know, it modeled everything, and you know, the game blew up and went on. So I mean, I guess he did go back on his word from working for free to ask for money, which is somewhat wrong, but I mean, like, he did do a decent amount of work, so if he wanted some kind of currency, he should be able to get it from all the work that he's done. But then I guess after he asked for money originally, he asked for more money, and I guess Arox didn't like that, and they had some beef that happened, and Haploid ended up leaving. So now that the people running the community is basically dead, the game is basically dead, and their modeler is gone. So now it's where we're at. What is going to happen to Demonfall? And I'm gonna tell you right now, I have no idea, because, you know, I mean, like I was about to say, Arox did, you know, do some bug fixes and whatnot, and then obviously there's gonna be some patch notes and whatnot of like more balancements and stuff like that, but you can only go so far with bug fixes and patch notes. Like, obviously you're gonna need to add new content to the game at some point, and you can't really do that if, you know, you don't have the people who are going to help you make that content. And so with that being said, like, don't get me wrong, I do like Demonfall as a game. It is a good game. Have I lost the respect for the dev? Kinda, yeah. Like, calling all the people who are trying to help you out randoms just wasn't a good move at all. Do I want to see Demonfall succeed? I mean, yeah, I mean, it was a game that I enjoyed. I mean, I got alpha tester for it, you know, I played it before it was released. I had fun before it was released. I had fun after it was released. I had fun moments on the game, doing PvP, you know, getting breathing styles, you know, grinding up with the homies and all that. So, like, obviously, I wouldn't want the game to die, especially after all the time I put in and whatnot. But at the same time, it's just like, if the dev himself doesn't care about the game as much as the community does, then obviously the game's not really gonna go anywhere. Plus, another thing I wanted to touch on is that, like, he did too much on the second update. Like, we're only on update 2 of the game, and yet we already have Sun and Moon. It took many other Demon Slayer games ages to add their Sun and Moons. Granted, there's only been like a couple who have added them, but like, it took them ages to add their Sun and Moons, while we're only on update 2 of this game. There is still so many things we are missing from this game. Oh shoot, oops, I died. As I was saying before I died, yeah, there's still so many things he could have added to the game before adding Sun and Moon. Like, I just don't think that was a good idea to add it so early on in the game. Like, there was no reason for him to jump the gun, seeing it the fact that he was like, oh, my game is dying, I have no other option, and decide to add Sun and Moon. There were still so many other breathing styles, so many other demon arts that he could have added beforehand. We're still missing love breathing, we're still missing flower breathing, we're still missing sound breathing, we're still missing stone breathing. And for blood demon arts, I think we're missing the dude from the Mugen Train and moves. We're still missing Nezuko's. There's still so many things that he could have added before adding Sun and Moon, and Slayer Mark itself. Like, there's so many things that he could have added before adding these like other things. Like, all these could have been other separate updates that he could have added along with like different content drops and like bosses and, you know, things in the game, along with adding the separate breathing styles. There's still so much more he could have did. But he just panicked and was like, I have no other option, my game is dying, I gotta drop my most hype things all in one package. And it didn't even boost the game up that much after he did it. There was still like, you know, a very like it didn't even get the amount of players that he probably wanted, which is probably why, his vibe, well, not necessarily vibe, like his will and want to update the game and whatnot died the way it did, because him adding Sun and Moon probably didn't get like the pull that he wanted it to have, and it just I guess it just killed it for him. So now he's like, his care for the game is lessened, as you saw in like the Discord post, that he really just said, I don't care if the game dies, I had my fun, I did what I wanted to do, I'm Gucci. And me personally, I don't want that to happen. Like I said, I did enjoy playing Demonfall, but if that happens, and that just happens, and that's just the state of Demonfall as we know it. Is it a sad truth and a sad fate? Yes. Now, does the game have hopes of updating? I don't know. Like I said, Aerox and Marone might be able to bring this game back. It is pretty far gone at this current point in time, but if they can bring it back, then kudos to them. I will play it. But as of right now, I really have no reason to play the game, which is why I haven't been recording and haven't making videos on it and whatnot. Like, you can only post PvP videos, and so for so long before it just starts getting repetitive and boring. And I just haven't been having fun doing it. Like, I was a part of the community to an extent, and I just felt like I should be able to say my own thoughts on what I feel like is going on in the current Demonfall community, and how the game is going to go from here on out, which I feel like it's definitely not going to go good, especially after the dev himself literally confirmed that he doesn't care if the game dies. So that's really all. I really have no much else to say. If the game comes back, I'll hop on it, obviously. But if there's no more content for this game, then I really can't upload this game. As a content creator, I gotta be finding content. If the game has no content, then I can't post the game. But anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for me. Let me know your thoughts on the situation in the comments below. I'd love to hear about it. Talk to you guys about it. But we'll just see where Demonfall takes it from here. It's been Main XZ. This has been the fate of Demonfall, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.